Hey guys, happy Thursday. It is just before noon on August 16th. RIP Aretha, if you guys haven't seen already. I will definitely be putting some of her stuff in my next couple playlists. If you guys have any good remixes, Aretha remixes, or I'm going to use a couple non-remixes because sometimes you just can't mess with a classic, you know. But if you guys have any good ones, let me know. I'm going to be building my playlists later today. I'll let you know if I find some. So on that sad note, let's get started with Hoerner Happy Hour this week. I have a few questions in here. First, I just want to clarify something. So actually, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a second to hop on because I started a minute early today. Sorry about that. What was I going to say? Okay. All right. There we go. Got a couple of people on. Okay. So first things first, I've had a couple of you ask both in the group and via private message for my class profiles for either the playlist that I posted in the group or just in general, if I could share my class profiles. I really, 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 really want to, but I can't. And that's because, believe it or not, I do run a business online. I give you guys a ton of free stuff because I want that to be what this group is. I want it to be all about just as many resources as I can give you for free. But if you need more than what I give you for free, you do have to pay for it. And that's because, one, I have to make a living, but also I already have clients that I work with, and it's mostly on class profiles. So if I'm giving them away for free, it's not fair to my paying clients. So I will actually, so I work with people individually now on their class profiles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with some of my best, kind of compile my best class profiles in a nice pretty format. I'm going to bundle them and I'm going to sell them for maybe like 5 for $25 or something like that, so you guys can see if it's something that you like and you find helpful. Maybe I'll do one bucket of those every couple months so you can purchase some, maybe just to give you a break so you don't have to always build your own profiles. But I will be doing that. I'm going to kind of put some together and see how I like it. It's a little bit of a struggle for me because I know some of you teach a 45-minute class, some of you teach 60, some of you use choreo, some of you don't. So it's going to have to be a blend of everything. I'm going to see what I can come up with and how I want to format it and how I want to sell it. But I can't just post my class profiles for that reason. So I hope you can understand that. I do need to make a living from something. I try and give you as much for free as I possibly can, but it's not fair to my paying clients if I'm just giving everything away for free. If you really need help with class profiles, though, the Cycle Poet Method program that I just released is, a lot of people are doing it already. It's going to help you learn to build your own. It's very thorough. I go through a step-by-step process, what I do, and that will be kind of what the result of that will be what I'm giving you later, the templates that I'm going to come up with for a couple classes. Anyways, I hope you guys can understand that. That's kind of where I'm at with those. If you want one-on-one help with your own class profiles in addition to or instead of the Cycle Poet Method training, you can message me or email me info@katehoerner.com. Happy to help with that. Otherwise, just hang tight. I'll have some class profiles probably in a week or two. We'll see how long it takes me to put everything together. My schedule's pretty tight lately, but we'll see. So next thing I want to talk about is a solution for small feet. You know what? I always forget to get the names. I write down your questions and I read all of them, but I always forget who asks what. Somebody asked about small feet. Who was it? Martin? Yes, Martin, who's awesome, who's a great crewbie. You're always in here answering and participating. I love it. So Martin asked, what's a solution for people with small feet? Using the cage. So I had to read that again because my first solution would be, if they can't find cycling shoes small enough, have them get kid sizes of cycling shoes. I do know a couple people who do that. Usually, sometimes you have to get a wide shoe in a kid size because sometimes the kids form of the shoe of the foot is a little bit different. But you did specify using a toe cage. How can you make it work? Which means no cycling shoes. I'm assuming sneakers. First and foremost, I will always educate people on the benefit of a cycling shoe over a sneaker, especially if they're going to be riding more than once a week. It will make a big difference and it will protect them in the long run. So maybe take a few minutes and tell them why you shouldn't be using the cage to begin with and why they should get cycling shoes. But aside from that, especially if it's a first-time rider, if they end up with small feet, the way to fix it, there's no good way, I have to say. The bikes and the cages are designed for pretty much one size shoe, and if you stray too far from that size, it's not going to fit right. Obviously, you want to explain to them that the widest part, that front part where the ball of your foot is what you want right over the middle of that pedal where the clip would be on the other side. So I would try, even if it means the foot isn't all the way forward in the cage, try and tighten the cage strap wherever that foot needs to be, even if it means there's a gap between the front of the cage and the top of the shoe, if that makes sense. So really, you just want to set them up so the ball of that foot is in that right spot. It's not always going to stay, and it might mean that you have to make it so tight that it's uncomfortable, or it'll cause them to lose feeling in their toes later on, which again is not what we want. So I would say stray them towards, you really need to get cycling shoes. It's the safest, it's going to give you the best ride, and if you really want to commit to this and commit to being fit, you can use that excuse, because once people make a purchase in something, they're a little bit more committed. So maybe that's their way of fully committing to riding. But I would really just educate them on all the different reasons for a cycling shoe and for having the ball of the foot in the right spot when you're pedaling. Show them how it feels in both instances. Maybe have them hop on the bike, have them push their foot all the way to the end of that cage, and then have them pull it back to the right spot and feel the difference. I think really where we can come in and play as good instructors is just educating people, because telling them what to do, if they don't understand why, it's never going to work. We have to educate them on why we want them to do a certain thing, and then maybe it'll click a little bit more. So there's not a great solution there, but I think it's a good question. I mean, a lot of people have it, and this kind of leads into our next question. I called it dealing with fun-sized riders, aka shorter riders. I have this issue a lot, actually. I think I even asked this question shortly after I started teaching, because I had a lot of smaller people, and it's tough on a Kaiser bike, which is what I was teaching on. Hey guys, how's it going? So if you have fun-sized or shorter people, I think, well, step one, whatever bike you're using, who asked this? Amy asked this. I think you said Schwinn. Am I right? Let me check. Schwinn. Yeah, so Schwinn, I'm pretty sure the minimum height is 4'11", give or take. So remember that everyone's proportions are different. So if they have longer legs, they might be able to get away with being a little bit shorter. If they have shorter legs, maybe 4'11" is too small. You just want to make sure that when they're on that bike, it looks, you know how a bike should be set up. It should look right. If it doesn't, and they're at the lowest setting, I hate to say it, but they can't ride. It's too dangerous. It's not going to be a good ride for them. It's not going to be comfortable. And you never want to, push people away from your class, but you could suggest that they find a different studio with different bikes, different brands of bikes, and try that. Maybe you're at a studio or a gym that could purchase a bike that would work for someone smaller. But at the end of the day, if the seat can't go low enough, even if you push it forward a little bit, if they're still not able to make it work, then it's not going to work. There's no safe way around it. I've heard people say, throwing a block on top of the pedals or something like that. I think that's just getting really dangerous. You never know what's going to happen in a case like that. It's putting you at risk as an instructor. It's a liability. It's hard to say. I hate saying that people can't be in my class, but it's the same thing as when it's a full class. Sometimes you just got to turn people away. Amy, yes, I have a friend who is 4'11", and we can't get that 90-degree bend. She wants to ride. I know. It's a killer. See if she can go to like a gym equipment store and see if another brand of bike might work for her. Maybe you can go with her. I know it's not ideal, but if she can find a brand that works, and then you can find a studio with that brand, maybe she can try going there. Or maybe you can convince where you work to get a bike that would work for smaller people. It is an option. I mean, gyms are always turning over bikes and leasing new ones and stuff. So if it's just the one that you need, maybe they'll make that work. I know it stinks. I wish there was a better answer for that, because there is a lot of people that are shorter than 4'11", so it should be an option, but unfortunately there's not much we can do, and it's a hard no if it's too dangerous. So I'm sure you knew that, but I wish I had a magic answer for you. All right, and let's see, what was our last question? Oh, a make or break tip for getting an instructor gig. So I have been interviewing and auditioning 1,000,001 instructors lately. I feel like I haven't left the studio. It's been rough, guys. It's been rough. A lot of people that have never tried spinning or indoor cycling before decided they wanted to be an instructor and showed up, and it's been rough. So for you guys, because you're all way more experienced than this, and I wish you lived closer so you could come work for me, but one thing that I want to say that as a manager, I see a lot and it kills me. If you're going to an audition somewhere, whether it's at a commercial gym or a studio or whatever it may be, you have to have ridden there before. I think, personally. Now, that's subjective, but if you want to show people that you want to work for them, that you love the studio, you love that gym, you want to be there, you have to at least have ridden there and know the way that they ride, right? Because as we all know as instructors, every place is vastly different. So I'm not just going to show up at a random place and say, I want to work here so bad. I really want to be an instructor. I have a passion for it. And then they check my name and see that I've never even been to a class there before. It kills me as a manager to have people basically lying to my face saying that they love, the cycle bar experience. They want to be a part of it, and they've never even ridden with us before. So if you are interested in auditioning, I know a lot of you have had recent auditions and you've been looking for jobs, and I'm sure you've all done great in your auditions, and you're probably well on your way to being instructors if you're not there already. But if you are still auditioning or looking around, maybe you're trying to change jobs, make sure that the place you go, you've ridden before. Unless you have a really good excuse, like you're currently instructing somewhere else and they don't let you ride anywhere else, which shouldn't be a thing. But if that is the case, I guess that's understandable. But I do think that there's a lot to be said about someone who has a passion for the place that they want to teach at, right? You want to love the way they teach. And for you too, like you want to love how they teach. You want to be excited to be there. You want to love the room. You want to love the energy. If you've never even been there, how can you know if you're going to like it? So that's my big tip for the day. I know I've been kind of giving a lot of tips on auditioning and stuff lately because you guys have been auditioning. But that one, I don't think I've mentioned yet. And I think it's key. So make sure you do that. And I think that's all we had for today, but a lot of you are on. Does anyone else have any questions? I'll give you a minute to type them in if you do. Oh, Amy, it's your studio. That's great. That's awesome. By the way, Amy, I saw your personal posts, very inspirational. I think if you want to share things in our group, I would love for you to. I think you have so much going on and you're such an amazing person. So thank you for letting me read a little bit about that. It popped up on my newsfeed and I think it's so awesome you're in this group, I have to say. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Hey, Mary. Hey, Katie. I missed you up there. Okay, guys. Is that all? Last call. All right. I'm going to head out. As you guys know, any questions, if they come in after I close up shop, I will answer them next week. And I'm going to get working on those class profiles for you guys. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know when they're done. Okay, everyone. Have a lovely rest of your week. Enjoy it. We have some sunshine now. I hope you guys do too. Enjoy it. And I'll see you next Thursday.